Hi, I'm Vicki with Farm Diggity. I'm with trial competitor Donna Rock, and we are here at the National Finals Sheepdog Trial. You just ran today in the semifinals.
Yes, as a rookie.
As a rookie.
And it went like it should for a rookie. I bummed out.
But you got in the semifinals. You left 100 and how many other people behind you to get? There was only 40, and I think there was 100 and some 50 competitors. So you left 110 people behind you.
Yeah.
And Donna, we're just going to get right to the obvious. You don't have any arms.
Correct.
And so
I was born this way.
You were born without arms.
So this is normal to me. It's the rest of y'all that are odd.
Donna, your story is amazing. You're incredible.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got started in the dogs, and then I want to talk a little bit about your life and how you grew up and stuff. But
I started out with a Doberman. I'd grown up on a farm, so we always had dogs. But then, of course, I grew up and went to college. And the first time I could get my own dog, I got a Doberman puppy, and I took her, Annie, to obedience pet class. And after the 8 weeks, my instructor, who was a competitive obedience instructor, she said, "Hey, would you be interested in joining our competitive class? I think y'all would do well." Well, sure, I was single. I had nothing to do.
Okay.
So every Wednesday night for the next, 12 years, 10 years, me and Annie and my next dogs went to obedience class. And we competed at the top levels in obedience.
How let's ask just an obvious question, but how do you hold a line and a lead, and how do you manage that with a Doberman? You're only a little
right. I think one of my strengths, and I'm not trying to brag, is I can just connect a little bit with a dog, and over time, the more dogs I got, I realized get them off leash as quick as you can.
Right.
Voice control.
Okay, so you're...
Yeah, and they respond to me. I'm not saying they don't take off on occasion, but that is my strength.
Right.
Is getting a bond
and
with
you need
a dog.
That strong bond, because it's not like you have arms to grab them, or so
it's funny because other people, if my dogs are around, they might try and help me, and they'll reach out to grab.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're gonna get bit. Why? Well, my dogs aren't used to being grabbed.
Right.
If I've had one for 5 years, I've probably hardly ever touched its collar.
Yeah.
So that's a huge offense to them.
Yeah.
To suddenly have someone reach out and grab them.
Yeah. You don't. And you don't. As you.
What are you trying to do? Well, I want him over there. Okay, Annie, come over there.
Right. You use your feet. As you've proven, you don't need help. You don't need help.
I try to be independent.
I would say, how did you get into the sheepdog role?
My Doberman hated obedience and agility. She didn't like it. So my next dog was going to be a border collie.
Oh, okay.
Because they like to work.
Right.
Border collies love to work.
Right.
I got him, love him. He hated obedience and agility.
Okay.
It's like, oh crap.
Now what?
Now what do I do with him? And so it's like, well, he's bred third. So we kind of dabbled in it. And then I blew out my knee. I've had 3 arthroscopic knee surgeries. And on the third one, the doctor said, you need to stop agility. Period. He goes, if you don't want to be in a nursing home by the time you're 40, you need to stop agility. It's like, well, okay, I'm going to do herding, because in herding,
that's crazy.
All you do is stand and whistle. I can do that. Who knew you were supposed to run up the field and chase them off? And so I was a little bit misguided on how much action there really
There's some action.
was. Yes.
Yeah.
So it went from there. And
who got you your first dog?
my first real dog, I believe Connie Brannon steered me towards that dog. He was a 4.5, 5-year-old neutered male named Ben. I went up to Iowa and got him. And he actually went deaf within a couple years, but it gave me the feel of
how to do it,
what it was going to be like. And then Herbert Holmes, Hub, took an interest in me. I scribed for him at the Bluegrass one year. I hate to say it, but he's like, when he saw me come up to scribe, holy shit, how are you going to do this? Don't you worry about me, buddy. I can scribe. So you'll have to talk to Herbert for that story.
He's a great guy.
He is. But he took an interest in me, and he's probably the first one. But I mean, I've had so many mentors over the years.
Did they take you serious, or did you have to prove your way?
That's a really good question. I'm not really sure anybody takes me serious. It's hard. It's okay. Back in agility, you get people who don't know agility, but they come to watch.
Right.
And I just have a horrible run, but they clap and cheer for me because, oh, look at how good she is. Lady, I just knocked 4 bars. But because I don't have arms, that was great.
Okay.
So I'm not judged. I don't mean judge. People don't look at me in the same standard they do with someone with arms.
Well, they better start.
Isn't fair. So I still don't know if people take me seriously.
Right. I think that, as Kathy Knox, and she's the one that introduced us, but like she's like, she can run a dog, so I think you've earned your way into where people stop thinking about that. But it is fascinating how you do things, because you don't have arms, you've got to open the pen gate. How do you do that, Donna? How do you open the pen gate? Let's say it's muddy. There's things.
Well, the mud don't bother me. It's those darn sandburrs in Texas that bother me. Because you get one of those in your shoe, or I generally take my shoe off to do something, but my foot never touches the ground. I put my foot right back into
amazing balance.
Yes.
So you take your foot out of your shoe, open the pen.
Well, I think it's the only special accommodation I ask for is I don't hold the rope.
Yeah.
And I also ask the course director, whoever, or the person ahead of me, hey, please don't wrap the rope. Just lay it on the ground or throw it over the gate, but don't
wrap it.
Don't wrap it so that I have to reach up.
Yeah.
So hopefully I don't even reach up. I just
you just use
put my foot on, hook it under and pull open. I am at a huge. I've learned in herding, the more you know, the less you know.
Right.
The more you learn, the more you realize.
I think everyone at home would agree with that.
And it took me a while to realize, and I'm not complaining, but like at the pen, I'm at such a huge disadvantage.
Right.
If you watch your Fonzies and your Scott Glenns that are 6'2" and have an arm span of God knows how many feet.
Right.
I got this.
Yeah.
And if the wind's blowing, sometimes I have to stand at the gate.
Right.
I can't even move because the gate will go shut.
Right.
Whereas they're holding a 6-foot rope, their arms, a stick, they can protect a lot of area.
Right.
Whereas I can't. And I've mentioned that to a couple of my trainers, and they're like, well, that means you better get your dog trained to be better than their dog. And I agree.
Yeah.
But the better I get now, that does weigh on my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a year ago, I didn't even care about the lines. I just wanted the damn dog to stop when I asked him to stop. Well, now I'm getting to the point where, okay, these points are now important.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where, I'm losing point for that. And, you know, and God knows how I'm going to do an international shed.
Well, you're going to do it.
Yeah, you know.
Because you're going to have a good dog. But really, you're not any different than us because, you know, at first you think a flank come by just means to go that way. But then you realize it's a shape, it's a everything. And
it's everything.
And now you're running
it's a thought process.
You're running at the highest level. You're running with the big boys and girls.
I am running with the big the big hats, as they say.
Tell me this, Donna. You grew up, you had no arms, and so you learned to grow up like this. And so your parents, did they push you to get out there? Or I mean, what about learning to drive? And what age did you learn to drive?
5. I grew up on a farm.
You're a farmer.
I'm an Iowa farm girl. We have 460 acres, and I mean, when I could barely stand, I would stand in my dad's pickup truck, not the automatic, because that won't stick to a certain speed.
Yeah.
And I would stand up, and I would steer, while he was standing in the back, throwing out hay to the cattle.
Right.
And boy, would he get mad, because it would be in a cornfield or a bean field. And you know, if I go over the row, it about knocks him out. So that's my first experience driving.
He just treated you just like he should have.
For the most part, yeah. And back then, that's kind of one of my pet peeves today. They do too much for handicapped kids. They try to make everything easy. There's 2 little kids now within a 50-mile radius of where I grew up that don't have arms. And one of the parents is very overprotective. And I read a post, and I've met them. And he said, well, we've decided to hold her back from kindergarten because we don't think the school has made enough adjustments. Oh, for God's sakes. She's the minority. Don't let her adjust. Let her freaking figure it out. Because you can't babysit her all her life. So, I think kids are coddled today. And you have to be able to learn to think through a problem. Not have someone come up and make all the other 30 kids do it a certain way. Just because of the one. No. You know? So what if she can't ride a bicycle? You know, life sucks sometime. You know, I never rode a bicycle. I got through it. But now they make special bicycles, so the kid doesn't feel left out. That kid's gonna have a hard adult as far as I'm concerned. Okay, off my soapbox.
Well, you have figured it out. And
yeah.
What's the hardest part of not having? You said to me it's the little things.
Yeah.
Like, give me some ideas on the little things that.
Like, and I think I told you, like, walking around.
You were thirsty today.
At a fair or at a Midway, everybody's got their soft drink, carrying it around. I'm like, I'd sure like a soft drink. But I can't carry it. Right. You know, going into a movie theater. You know, I just don't. I don't buy the popcorn. Right. And the candy because it's too hard to eat. I can't eat popcorn. Popcorn's hard to pick up. Right. You know, and now as I get older, things are getting harder. Right. And I swear I didn't notice it younger, but now doorknobs are a pain in the ass. The round. People don't think about it. I'll go to an Airbnb, it's like, oh, that's a round doorknob. Sure enough, it's a slick. Yeah. I can't grip it enough.
And you also mentioned that when it rains and you're at a dog trial and your pants get wet, then they get heavy. And you've actually had to say to Kathy Knox, like, I'm sorry, I don't hardly know you, but...
We're not, I know this is personal, but can you tie my britches for me?
Oh,
yeah.
bless your heart.
You know, because my pants, they have to be loose enough I can get them up, but tight enough that they stay up once they're up.
When you're at the pin.
Yes. When, you know, I mean, I've run agility, and someone said, what are you doing? I'm standing against the fence. My pants are coming off. And they're like, are you serious? Oh, dead serious. If I make one move, they're down. Because you can feel it. Let me tell you.
You are so funny. I said to her today, I said, I have a cold sore. She says, I don't have any arms. Oh, gosh.
But yeah, as I get older, things are a little harder.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is going to be tough to have to keep adapting to things that are
harder.
Yep, that get harder as I get older.
But you're able to text. I saw her in her car, and you're texting, and she was, "Don't worry, I'm not driving."
It
and
was
texting.
not moving.
Both feet up, texting. You're incredibly agile and adaptive, and it's amazing. What's your future like? What do you think you?
Well, I just retired
from.
I'm a systems accountant at USDA, 30 years, 2 months, and then I retired August 1st, roughly. So and that's part of the reason I retired. I want to be able to go to these dog trials while I'm capable. Yeah. You know, before I get to the point where it's too hard.
Right.
Yeah. That's my future. Well, my future's in Belgrove, Virginia, and we're going to make it past the semis, hopefully.
It's awesome.
Instead of going around the post in the wrong dang direction.
Is there anything we can do to help you as your friends? And is there anything that makes your life easier when you're at a dog trial? I mean, can we help you in any way besides get out of your way?
No.
Besides love you?
Bring me a bathroom. That's my other pet peeve. Not pet peeve, but something very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Me and porta potties don't work. Yeah. Well, of all the sports I choose something that only has porta potties. You'd think I'd get smarter at this age. So yeah, that's
hard.
Yeah, that's hard. I love my iced coffee, but I don't drink one when I come to a trial because then I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But no, don't be afraid to offer help, but don't be afraid, or don't get offended if I say I got it. Because it does get easy to become dependent.
Yeah.
And so I have to be careful. I did let Kathy pump my gas the other night. I hate pumping gas. And they keep changing the credit card
and it's up
readers.
There, and you're small.
But for years, you'd put them in this way. So I got it. Then they changed them. So now you have to turn. That's such a little thing.
Yeah.
But for me, now it's a torque on my hip, my knee, and it goes all the way in, and I can't get it back out. Because my toes are too short.
They're amazing toes.
But they're stubby. They need to be longer. But now they got the tap. I love that tap.
The tap is good.
Yeah.
Things we just don't
so
even
it's the little
think about. You can shop at Farm Diggity. I have one of those taps.
Yes.
That's a shame. That's a shameless.
How mean.
That's awful.
I can shop at Farm Diggity.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. But no, I love herding. I love it. I hope I keep getting better.
You're a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
And you're absolutely just an inspiration and fun. I love you.
Thank you.
Great sense of humor. Look for her on the trial field.
Yes.
And
I'll be at Angie Cooker's 2 weeks.
Tell me a little bit about what you're running for dogs. What's your dog?
I have 2 open dogs. One of them, I lost my Jack dog to cancer. He was only 9. And I can't even remember the timing, but I had bought Opal from Nancy Nunn, and she's working really nice for me. But Kathy Knox asked me if I'd be interested in running her test dog. And
she's a darling.
Yeah, and so I've been running her now 1.5 years.
So you have 2 solid open dogs?
I have 2 solid open dogs. Okay. I have a young female coming up, Emily, and then a younger dog named Rooster.
Oh, I love that name.
I do too.
I had one, so that's great.
So yeah, I hope to be around for a while.
You will be.
Maybe.
Of course you will.
And yeah, I do. I love it. Herding is fun. The people are nice.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Yep.
It's a good life.
It is.
Farm diggity.